morning. Muy buenos días. Good morning. I am Zenaida Mendez, President of the National Organization for Women, New York State. The National Organization for Women is the largest women political action organization in New York, representing over 40,000 women and men in 24 chapters. The chapter is dedicated to fighting for women's equality and to improving the status of women in New York. I am very proud to stand here this morning with my sisters and brothers to endorse a brilliant, effective, and compassionate leader for Mayor of the City of New York, Christine Quinn. We believe with certainty that a woman as a mayor will make a huge difference in New York City and the world. When I asked a 16-year-old girl the other day, why a woman for mayor, she said the following: the leaders like Christine Quinn tend to be more thoughtful and giving. They aren't afraid to show their feelings, and they will be able to help the people work out their issues through talking instead of fighting. Women are used to multitasking since they often have to work and take care of the family all at once. A mayor also has to keep track of many events and thinking clearly how they're going to tackle all that stuff. Christine Quinn is focused, and this is why we should know that she will come to peaceful resolution when we have certain circumstances that often happen in New York City. If we have Christine as the mayor, she might not choose to lay off workers, but to work out a plan to ensure they have a secure income to support their family. A leader like Christine Quinn would get people to recycle and to keep the community clean. I agree with that girl, and I believe that she will do that. And that is why I am proud that the National Organization for Women, New York City chapter, is endorsing Christine Quinn for mayor today, a true leader. Muy buenos días. Para mí es un gran orgullo estar esta mañana con mis compañeras y compañeros endorsando a una verdadera líder de esta ciudad, a una mujer, a una líder que ha demostrado que sí puede manejar esta ciudad, que sí puede ayudarnos a todas las familias, a todos los inmigrantes, a todas las mujeres, a todos los niños. Ya Christine Quinn lo ha demostrado. En los años que tiene como líder del concilio de esta ciudad, ha demostrado que nos pueden ayudar, que es una mujer inteligente, una mujer con integridad, una mujer sensitiva y una mujer que puede trabajar con todos los neoyorquinos, no solamente con un grupo. Y por eso hoy para mí es un gran orgullo estar aquí con el capítulo de la ciudad de Nueva York, de la Organización Nacional de Mujeres, endorsando a la mejor persona calificada para ser la alcaldesa de Nueva York, Christine Quinn. Muchas gracias. And now I'm going to introduce one of our most proud people in New York, Lee Hoffman, a former city controller and former homeless women, who really make us proud and is here to serve you. Yay!
I'm so excited to be here today and watch the two premier women's organizations in this state endorse Christine Quinn. You know, in 1963, Martin Luther King said, "How much longer? Not much longer." He was talking about civil rights. We're talking about equal rights for women. How much longer? Not much longer. Just the primary a few months away. We had the opportunity to bring to the leadership of New York City a woman who has been tested under fire, who's smart, who's experienced, who's savvy, and has had a strong record on equality for women as well as for all other groups in the city. How much longer? Not much longer. And I'm proud to introduce now Sonia Sorio, the president of New York City now. She's been the president for the past 8 years and has done an outstanding job in women's leadership there. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so proud to be here today to endorse Christine Quinn for mayor of New York City. She is going to be the best mayor this violence against women. And I'm so proud to think about having a mayor here in City Hall who on a daily basis is going to stand up to the everyday sexism that we experience in our lives as women. You know, Chris Quinn does the right thing, passing the right legislation. She cracked down on the paid drivers who facilitate sex trafficking. This is the character of a woman. These are not women who are going to be voters for her. These are some of the most vulnerable and exploited kids and immigrant women who are exploited in the vibrant sex trafficking market here in New York. She stood up for them. You know, I've been with her when there was sexual assault in Central Park. She doesn't stay here in her office. She comes down and makes an issue of it and holds people accountable and sends a message to the city that this cannot happen again and that rape is an epidemic. When a young woman was violently attacked late at night in a bar in Chelsea, you know, I was out there handing out flyers with her, hoping to find that perpetrator. And that's the kind of advocate the women of New York City had in Christine Quinn. There's so many things that she has done for all of us. You know, when we found out these anti-choice groups were setting up these fake pregnancy centers here in New York City, she was there. She was there to fight legislation to make sure that they couldn't deceive women. She made sure that women had access to clinics here in New York City and that they weren't blocked. You know, when the Bloomberg administration is always quick to cut important, critical child care subsidies for women who are just trying to get to work every day, she makes sure that that doesn't happen. She's got our back. She's making sure this year that 200,000 more kids will have afternoon care so that our kids have extra resources they need to be the strongest individuals moving into the future for a strong New York. You know, and women in business, she has fought to break down the barriers that have held back women and minorities, business owners. She knows the importance of making sure that our women business owners can get ahead here in the city. So I'm very, very excited to be here as part of our many, many members who will be fighting the good fight with Speaker Quinn to make sure she gets elected as the next mayor of this great city. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you the next mayor of New York City, Christine Quinn.
Thank you, Zenaida. Zenaida had to run, but Zenaida is somebody I've known for decades since we were both working on housing and tenant issues and community board 4 issues in Chelsea and Hell's Kitchen. And I just want to thank Zenaida for all of her support. She was with us not long ago when the Dominican Women's Political Coalition endorsed my campaign, so I want to thank her very much. Liz Holton, I want to thank you not just for your support, but you've changed this city, state, and country for women, not just the potential for women elected officials, but for women in everyday lives. So thank you so much. And Sonia, I want to thank you and now, first and foremost, for your partnership. In the 12 years I've been speaker and chair of the Health Committee, where we've accomplished so much together, and really for this endorsement. And I want to thank you for being one of our best women leaders in the state. And I know with Sonia at the helm, we will have important, comprehensive legislation passed that the governor has proposed for all of the women in this state. So thank you so much. And I want to thank the thousands of members of NOW for their work on that bill and for their support of my race for mayor. And you know, over the 4 years I was Health Committee Chair and 8 years that I have been Speaker of the City Council, working with Sonia and the members of NOW, we've accomplished so much. We have laws on the books in New York now that say if you've been the victim of rape or sexual assault, when you go to any hospital in New York City, you have to be offered emergency contraception. I authored that, passed it, overrode a veto. It is now the law of New York City. Every Department of Health STD clinic has to offer emergency contraception because of council legislation. I'm proud of the fact we've expanded our emergency contraception outreach to young girls in schools as well. Because of our work, and I will fight to defend that and continue that as mayor. Because of our work together, we now have a much broader and stronger minority and women-owned business law, one which will include and build businesses. And one of the things we know for sure is a great way to shatter that glass ceiling is for a company to be run by a woman. Working together, we've prevented 4,100 layoffs of school teachers, hundreds of layoffs of teachers' aides, and kept fundamental services out there in our city, like keeping every firehouse open. But with all of that progress for women and families in New York, there's so much more that we need to do. Pregnant women still face discrimination in the workplace. And we're going to pass Councilmember Vaca's legislation into law to stop that. So no woman has to make a choice between what her doctor says she needs to do to keep herself and her baby healthy, make a choice between that and keeping a job. We need to do more to make sure child care is affordable and accessible in this city. That's why we're fighting so hard for legislation in Albany to create a child care tax credit for middle-income families, and why we're working to put a loan program out there for child care as well. We need to fight harder to make schools better for every family, so your access to a good school doesn't depend on what zip code you live in. And today, I'm so excited we're announcing the schools that are part of our pilot program for an extended school day to help bring up reading rates in middle schools across this city. See, that's what we can accomplish when we all work together. We can protect a woman's right to choose. We can expand access to health care. We can create greater opportunities for employment all throughout the city. And we can put legislation in place that stops discrimination and supports people moving forward. Now, let's also be clear, not everyone supports us in these efforts. When we pass legislation to rip the curtain out of these crisis pregnancy centers, places that were pretending to be doctor's offices, luring women and young girls in as if they were doctor's offices, at times giving them incorrect medical advice, telling them the wrong week they were in their pregnancy, telling them that if they got an abortion, they would get breast cancer. When we passed a law to stop this practice, we're being sued by so-called right-to-life organizations. And we had similar opposition when we passed legislation to make the law to protect clinic defenders and women and families who are going to reproductive clinics when we made that stronger. So this battle isn't easy. Not everyone is standing on the side of women and girls and families, but we are. And working together, we'll move this city forward to make it a place of greater healthcare opportunities, greater economic opportunity, and make it a place where we see a landmark reduction in rape, sexual assault, and domestic violence. Because if we're really going to remain the greatest city in America, we need to have employment opportunities for everyone, regardless of gender. We need to root out any kind of discrimination that still exists, and we need to make this a place where every woman and every girl can walk down the street at night with no fear that their gender identity expression, or their sexual orientation is going to make them less likely to get home safe that night. That is what we're all working towards. That's what we're accomplishing, and that's what we will finish when we move forward into the mayor's office. So Sonia, thank you all so much, and this is just a great day for the city of New York. I couldn't be more excited, so thank you all so much, and I would be happy to take any questions.